Hello and welcome to Age of Empires. Today I'm playing a Regicide map, 2v2. So yeah, get a bunch of villagers, get a king and a castle to start off with. So here I am, just starting off with building my two houses and then the other usual stuff, and I make a mistake. Need lumberjack, lumber camp, then from there we can start doing stuff. And suddenly someone's dropped right at the start of the game. It's not great. I'm surprised the other guy's not going to drop or even mention anything, whether he's even noticed. So now it's a fairly easy game with just me and my ally against one other player. The games are fairly equal now. A recent update has meant that the ranking system is fairly even, so you can find people who are close to your level as long as you've played a certain amount of games. I've not played that many games yet. So I had this scout just in this little passageway to make sure, in case the yellow guy decides to go and send anything towards my base, because it's pretty much the only route.
Presto. Condo. Ago, Pabulo. Salve.
So as soon as I'm into the feudal age, I make a market so that I can view my allies' base. I find this very important. Obviously, especially when it's quite a relaxing kind of game, when there's nothing that important, because it's 2 against 1 obviously. Our scores are greater than his. Like, even without his teammate dragging his overall team score down. So I get my market built, and then I'll go on to the blacksmith after that, and then I can head towards the castle age. So now I've got cartography, and I can now see what my blue ally is doing. He's fairly slow to start off with, but I can go and see whether he's deciding to attack or whether he's just deciding to be defensive. And at the moment he's got that palisade just in the middle, sort of blocking me. And I'll go and block off the top route, so there's no sort of surprises. This map's quite good. There's only sort of 3 roads leading, one from green to yellow, one from green to red, one from blue to yellow and red. Okay, so let's go and get my scout cavalry now that I've got that wall blocking the other route. And he's going on the way just to go and scout the yellow guy's base. I could have done this a lot earlier, but I knew exactly where he was and he wasn't going to attack. And major mistake, I don't have enough houses. So quickly go and tell them to take a bunch of houses. You should never really be at that. Okay, so I found their base. They still feudal rage. They'd only just built that blacksmith. And I sort of just scout around. And there's a bunch of villagers, I think, thought they were going to go and attack my scout, but he wasn't. So my scout sort of goes away for a bit. Then it comes back and sees whether there's any more to the yellow base. Got to be careful. I don't know where their castle is. Because that would easily take care of my scout. Should be a bit annoying. So at the moment there doesn't seem to be any troops and he doesn't seem to be bothered that I've got a scout cavalry running straight to his base. So now to head my scout up to the red base. Just because I can. See how much the red guy actually did before he went and dropped. That's my ally gone up, I think. It's castle age. Still churning it. Right, now that's me going to the castle age myself now. So my ally is slightly ahead of me. It's a fairly relaxed game, as I said. Okay, I found the red villagers. Or something around. They are all in their starting positions. Which is kind of strange. It's kind of weird because those villagers are standing in each other. There's a few of them like that. And then my scout cavalry gets killed. But the red guy did absolutely nothing before he dropped, so I'm not really sure why he dropped. So at the moment I'm making a load of trade carts because my allies already got the trade carts going to my base and they're very useful for gold. You nearly always run out of gold when you play Age of Empires. So it's important that you sort of get all these trade cards while you still have gold, so you're not sort of struggling later on. So make a couple of cataphracts. I've gone and upgraded my cavalry quite a bit, sort of maxing them out, because cataphracts are amazing with Byzantines. And then I'm going to use my cataphracts to basically as a scout for just now and see how far the yellow guy moves. So like, whether I can place a castle right next to his base, pretty much. See how close I can get. I want it to be out of his range so he sort of gets a surprise. And the paths are quite narrow, so the castle is pretty much covered the entire route. So if I get my castle there, he's pretty much screwed, and he'll have to go to the Imperial Age to get to trebuchets to take me out. Send my other cataphracts down just in case he has some sort of troops to go and take me out. Also sending my villager down there so they can make the castle. Villagers walking quite slowly. So that's as close as I dare get, which is before the crossroads. Make sure that he doesn't see me making this castle.
Salve. Ein. Condo.
And of course get a university so that the castle can actually defend itself. So it's got ballistics and murder holes.
Impero.
Right, so there's my castle built. He doesn't seem to have noticed at all. And now I'll build stables just for any extra troops that I want to create. And maybe could have got my castle slightly further forward. Blue guy's walled himself in even more. I'm not really sure why. I assume he can see me and that he's got cartography as well. So how far will my cataphract get? Yeah, I'm fairly sure I could have built my castle closer. It's got barracks, another barracks, an archery range, a couple of houses. And then just going through his base. I'm trying to find his castle just now. I'm guessing it's in that other corner. But just be safe, go around all here. What always seems to happen is my relic always ends up in an impossible place to get to. Well, it's not quite impossible because there's a little lake next to it. And I go and see those eagle warriors running around. One of the things is that all tech trees are on. And there's this army of eagle warriors which my cataphract just runs away from. And there's the castle. So I finally found the castle and I found those eagle warriors. And I appear to have killed a yellow scout. He knows my castle is there now.
Condo.
I'm not sure what he's going to do about it. And then I go and stick my cataphract in my castle just to heal him up. And add extra arrow. Time to make an army in case he does attack me with his eagle warriors. And then I realise I should probably upgrade to the Imperial Age before I do that, because if I make all them I can't actually afford the Imperial Age, and the Imperial Age is more important just now.
Condo.
Okay, I've got to the Imperial Age, and I'll try to go and get elite cataphracts at some point. Obviously, conscription, it's a really good research. It's very cheap, and it's so good. I'm kind of annoyed that I don't get the triple damage thing with Byzantines just because of it's got all tech trees on. I also was quite annoyed that to get to the Imperial Age it cost the normal amount, because the Byzantines, as their special, get Imperial Age cheaper. I don't actually get that when it's all tech trees.
Condo.
So I attempt to go and get a second castle down now. And as soon as I start building, I notice that he's got a castle there. He's created a border. So I go and cancel that one. And try to make one just across from it. So it's out of range of that castle. I now go and make some trebuchets to go and take out that castle. Looks like the battle might finally be happening at some point.
Podio. Ein. Condo.
So I make my trebuchet and I see that they've got another castle, because the trebuchets have huge range of sight. And then he goes and attacks, which means I have to go and cancel that castle as well. I stick my villager inside my castle and watch as all his eagle warriors get killed by my castle. Looking for things to make to try and help out, but I don't actually need anything. So I go and get cavaliers. I'm surprised he doesn't go for mine. So I'm still using just my knights to try and help out I really didn't need them. Eagle warriors are pretty terrible. I'm not sure why I went for them. Just because he can, since it's all tech trees, I suppose. So that's all his Eagle warriors dead. And that's one of his castles gone. My cataphracts and stuff will just die. Now I can try and make that other castle. Since his army is dead, I've now got cavaliers. At some point I'll try to get paladin. I think paladin are like the best troops in the game. Some may disagree, but I think so. It's expensive getting to them, but once you get them, they are pretty cheap for how good they are. So, that's the other castle pretty much dead. And that will do for now. I'll build my second castle, and then that'll be okay. Now I'm going to go and take out the red base and completely annihilate them from the map. So I'll send off my trebuchets to take out their castle and their town centre, and I'll send a couple of cavaliers, I think, or maybe cataphracts, to just protect. Not really sure why they need protection. Maybe in case the yellow guy has some stuff there, I think. And my ally is finally starting to make stuff which could make an army. So he's making a load of stables, and he's got another castle with more longbowmen, and he's making a few more barracks as well. Maybe at some point he'll attack. So that's the red town centre gone. Now I have paladin, and then one paladin. I'll use trebuchet on that castle, and I'll use my paladin just to kill all the villagers. For some reason, as I hit the castle, the king moves towards my trebuchets. I don't know why he does that. It's a little strange. Seems kind of stupid. If something attacked your castle, you'd run towards them. So, time to go and kill the red king. One more hit, he's dead. Nope. One more? Yes, red king dead. Okay, now to go and take out all the villages and send my trebuchets back to my base down that one. I guess I could attack from the other side, but it should be easy enough going in the side I'm already heading down. So I attack the scout cavalry, it attacks back, and it deals 2 damage. It's kind of ridiculous how good it is. Like 2 damage and I do about 40 damage in that same space of time. And that is the Reds now annihilated. Complete. They have nothing left on the map. I'll just leave the yellow guy to mine that gold. Or not causing any problems until later on when I completely annihilate him.
Audio.
Now the blue guy is building some trebuchets, and the yellow person has put a wall around his base and created another castle. I'm not sure why all those villagers are coming out of that gate. Make another castle, sort of because I can. Case for some odd reason I get attacked. So there's a bunch of eagle warriors and villagers. I have no idea why they're there, especially because villagers are completely useless. I don't know whether he can see what I've got, because I can certainly see what he's got. It looks like he's on the edge of my range, so I think I'll probably be just out of his range.
Presto.
So I'll go and get my army, and then we'll push through and take them out. I don't know when the blue guy's gonna go and attack. He's probably a lot stronger than me. His score says so. He's making paladin. He's got his longbowman. He's not made anything from his barracks though. And he's got a few monks.
Quando?
Yet more things coming out of the gate. He's got some Arblast. They're much better than the Eagle Warriors, but I'm not sure what an Arblast is meant to do against a castle, or paladin, or cataphracts, or even trebuchets. I don't really have anything weak to Arblast. Maybe they're just cheap. That's what he doesn't. Oh, I've lost some trebuchets. Because he's got a trebuchet, so he can clearly see me then. He's taking out my trebuchets. So now he's attacking my castle, and all his people, because they're villagers, they're not soldiers, so they're not an army or anything. All his rabble of stuff is getting sent towards me. And I don't have that much things, but everything he does have is dying very, very quickly. So I just slice through his villagers, slice through his eagle warriors, and slice through his Arblasts. Alright, so his trebuchet dead. I'm not sure I lost many troops at all there. And he resigns. So let's have a look around his base. And he doesn't really have much, so it's obviously just a last ditch attempt. He didn't use much at all, so I guess he knew he'd lost from the very start. So it wasn't a great game. My ally still has all his army, didn't use anything at all. He's got a load of siege rams, he's got a load of paladin, he's got a load of barracks, stables, siege workshops, castles, longbowmen, monks. It looks like he might have been starting to attack because that palisade is now gone. Other than that, doesn't look like much. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.